Welcome to race 2 from Suzuka. We're in the warm-up phase here as we ride with Stefan Gervais, who had a very solid run to 5th place in race 1. He will start mid-pack and look to more or less try to replicate the same. You wouldn't think that he's in for a win per se, but podium would not be out of the question. Although I think the danger man might be the car right behind him, that orange and black Audi. Dean Reimers only finished 5th place in race 1, or 9th place in race 1. This will get him second on the grid. But I feel like number 1 being the teammate of the guy who won race 1, and number 2 being a guy who looked like he was going to be part of a 6-man breakaway pack before running into some trouble, that he is a guy who could probably do better in this race. Could be the spanner in the works for pole sitter James Gill. It will be an all-Audi, all-Aussie front row for this race, having finished 9th and 10th in the race. For those of you unfamiliar with how the reverse grid works, top 10 from race 1 are reversed, 10th starting on pole, and everyone else starts where they finish. So unfortunately, Rick Martel, Mike Magasevich will start at the back of the pack. Not unfamiliar territory for Magasevich. He's not been on the pace here really all throughout this round. But Martel, you gotta feel, has got some pace, and if he can latch up with the winner from race 1, Martin Lauer, and the other podium finishers like Mark Minahan and Alex Hayes, or not Alex Hayes, Wesley Stokes, could definitely do some things. There you see the pole sitter, the orange and white Audi of James Gill. Surprisingly enough, the orange and white and the black and white Audi, not teammates. Countrymen using the same car, very similar liveries, but they are not teammates. One representing Gemini, that is James Gill, and the other one representing Dynamo Lynx, that is Dean Reimers, but they are sponsored by some similar men. Rick Martel is the man we're on board with. He is the lone McLaren 650S in the grid, starting from dead last. Don't let that fool you. This guy could have had, I think, as high as a 6th place finish, but he had some problems at the end of the race. They are off. Looks like Gill's got a great start. Dule Markovic with a fantastic start. He's going to take the lead in the Porsche, and some carnage at the back. Off goes Mike Magasevich. Mark Klabzul is off. Wesley Stokes is off. Mark Minahan is off. Grant Patolo is off. Actually, no, it looks like Patolo's on. He just kind of got off to a bad start. Well, maybe he is off. I don't know. He's dropped back. But Minahan, Stokes, and Magasevich for sure have been taken out. And that is 2 guys who finished on the podium in race 1. Martin Lauer, the race 1 winner, is already up to 6th place, but it is the lead for James Gill, followed by Dule Markovic. By the way, Markovic looked like he was going to take the lead for sure, but he has not managed to hold it. It is now under pressure from Dean Reimers and from Alex Hayes, who's had a fantastic start in place. Stefan Gervais, followed by Martin Lauer. This is the breakaway 6 group. I think Martel is not quite staying with the back. Mark Klabzul is back in 8th place, followed by Patolo and Minahan rounding up the points. Mike Magasevich is at the back of the pack. Wesley Stokes is back there as well. Those the last 3 I mentioned are going to be hard-pressed to make this happen. That being said, Minahan and Stokes definitely very fast here. We saw Minahan particularly making some ground at the end of the race, so don't count them out yet. Dean Reimers under significant pressure from Alex Hayes here in the pink Mercedes. I thought Reimers would be the danger man, but not a very good start. Got out overwhelmed by Markovic, and has now got some guys piled up behind him. Stefan Markovic is off the track! Dule Markovic goes wide off the track, and that's going to let Dean Reimers back into 2nd place. And I think that's a little cheeky from Dule Markovic, who looked like he edged over on Alex Hayes a lot. That's allowed Stefan Gervais through into 3rd place, followed by Hayes, Lauer, and Markovic is going to slide into the back of the pack. Not a good moment for him. Rick Martel, Mark Klabzul under some amazing pressure from Grant Patolo. Stefan Gervais is off the track. The Audi has had a moment of his own and is dropping way back. He may drop all the way to the back of the pack. Well, actually, I think he'll right ahead of it. So at least looks like he has rejoined ahead of Wesley Stokes as well. Mercedes struggling with both the Falcon Autosports cars out of the points, but Alex Hayes from Raptor is in the points in 3rd place. Audi once again very strong with Gill, Reimers, and Lauer in the top 4, and points paying positions for Minahan and Gervais as well. We know that they have some significant pace as well. We'll see if they can make an impact as the race goes on. The Audi did get stronger towards the end of race 1, so don't count them out until the very end. Lauer currently in 4th place. place, trailing Alex Hayes, a championship rival of his. Again, there are 4 principal championship contenders, I think, in the series right now. That's Hayes, Lauer, Stokes, and the absent bench warrior who leads the championship for MWL Racing Group, BMW. No BMWs on the field today at all, actually. BMW not being a popular car that a lot of people are kind of hoping the M6 is. In fact, development on the M8 is already in progress, so BMW, recognizing that perhaps they didn't go the right direction with the development of the car. Patolo on the back of Mark Labzul. These guys had a good fight for 6th place, which Patolo came out on top of. You can see Patolo's front is a little messed up, though. I wonder if that is affecting the aerodynamics of the car. He was definitely involved in that first corner accident that severely hamstrung Wesley Stokes, Mike Magasevich, and Mark Minahan. By the way, I say severely hampered. That pink and black car back there in 9th place is Mark Minahan. He's coming back already. Wesley Stokes is also only about 12 seconds off the lead. So really it's just Magasevich who's been absolutely punted and kind of had his day largely ruined here at the about the 11-minute mark of the race. At the front, it's still Gill from Reimers, Hayes, Lauer, and Markovich. Then you get a bit of a gap back to Rick Martell, who's running ahead of Mark Labzul and ahead of Grant Patolo. Alex Hayes went for a move there, and it did not work out. He is very wide. He's going to lose a couple of positions at least, losing spots to... it looks like he only lost 3rd place to Lauer, actually. Remained larger in this 5-man breakaway group 2. And Lauer powering his way past teammate Dean Reimers. I wonder if little team orders there at work for the Dynamo Lynx team. Reimers, a very important guy, don't get me wrong, a potential silver champion. A guy who won the Saturday Silver Cup last season. He is the reigning champion. And would it not be a thing? Would it not be a thing if Martin Lauer to win the overall championship, Dynamo Lynx were able to take the team's championship, which they may do. They're one of the strong competitors in it. And Dean Reimers can take the Silver Cup. That would be a hell of a triple for the team. There's Gill leading Lauer, leading Reimers, leading Hayes, and Markovich. Then the gap back to this second group, which consists of Mark Labzul, Grant Patolo, Mark Minahan, Stefan Gervais, and Wesley Stokes. By the way, Stokes is in the points now after Rick Martell has made a mistake and possibly damaged his car. He has been passed by Mike Magasevich, who is now running in dead last place. Oh! Contact between the Nissan and the Corvette! Patolo's got the inside line. I think if you're Klapzul, you just got to sort of position at this point. Fighting this might honestly lead to just a complete wreck. And if it's him, go back! Go back! It looks like Patolo's got it in the Nissan, but I wish the camera was on that because we're being shown Klapzul in 6th place. They come around the corner. Klapzul is very wide. Looks like he really sacrificed everything to try to get back past Patolo, and it might have worked. He's got about a 6-second gap now. 4/10, 6/10 of a second, 3/10. Oh, show us the fight. Show us the fight for 6th place. And it's getting all kinds of lovely, because Minahan, Gervais, and Stokes are now all in that fight as well. This is an amazing battle that we are not getting to see because the cameraman is, I know it's a fight for the lead between Martin Lauer and James Gill, and it's a big, big deal. But we also know that there's a delta of performance between these two cars. We know that Martin Lauer is the dominant force here at Suzuka. I think it's just a matter of time before he gets past James Gill, to be honest. Whereas that battle for 6th place, which is a 5-way battle royal, would be fantastic to watch right now. Anyways, let's break down what we have in front of us. James Gill still leading. He was the reverse grid pole setter. Has held the lead pretty much throughout. I think Dule Markovich briefly led him. He's got Martin Lauer on his tail, though. That is the first one. Dean Reimers is kind of buying these two guys a little bit of time. I think he's maybe the cork in the bottle for Alex Hayes and Dule Markovich. And speaking of cork in the bottle, I think Mark Klapzul is definitely the cork in the bottle here in a tremendous battle for 6th place that we are not getting to see. In 6th place, it is Klapzul, followed by Grant Patolo, Mark Minahan, Stefan Gervais, and Wesley Stokes. This could change at any time, because from 6th place down to 10th place, there is a total gap of 1.3 seconds. Meantime, Dule Markovich going around the outside of Alex Hayes, trying to pry 4th place. away from the Mercedes. Mercedes struggling here right now. 5th, 10th, and 11th is not exactly what the Mercedes brand is all about. Mark Labzul has finally been shuffled back down to 10th place. And the battle here between Hayes and Markovic continues. The battle between Gill and Lauer continues at the front of the pack. I think the battle from 6 is far from over because I think Patolo is also... I mean, you gotta look at it this way. Patolo finished 6th place in race 1, but he's ahead of the guy who finished in 3rd, 5th, and 2nd. So you would think that he is somewhat problematic in terms of pace in that regard. Lauer is going down the inside to turn 1, looking to take the lead of the race, and it looks like he is through. I think he'll disappear because I don't think James Gill has the pace to stay with him. I don't think Dean Reimers has the pace to stay with him either. I thought Reimers has had a weird Suzuka run here. He qualified reasonably well. He looked good in the early going of race 2, but then he kind of fell apart and wasn't able to stick with the main group. Had a moment, wound up in 9th place after looking like 6th place was kind of in the bag for him. We talked about 6th place being a bit of a cursed roll because of Magasevich and Klapsul's contact, and Klapsul going off, and Martel went off in that position as well. And we've seen Klapsul get shuffled out of it here today as well, so there's going to be maybe a bit of a superstition in regards to that, but the top 5 have really gotten away. We'll see if Lauer can do a Houdini act and disappear into the distance. And this is ideal for him because he's got Gill, Reimers, and Markovic in between him and his nearest championship contender, Alexander Hayes, who is going to have to get past all of these to minimize the damage in the standings that is being done right now by Martin Lauer. Double. Patolo's still in 6th place, hanging on barely. It's Minahan. Gervais is in there. Stokes is in there. Mark Labzul has not managed to keep up with them, but he's running more or less alone in 10th place, except for a single point. He is still, of course, under investigation for contact with Mike Savage in race 1, so we'll see how that goes. And, of course, there will be an investigation, I'm sure, into the first corner accident in this race, which we did not get to see in great detail as to what actually happened. Markovic is on the attack on Dean Reimers. By the way, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are all Silver Cup entries. So, a big day for Silver Cup drivers to prove themselves right here. They're doing a fantastic job. And additionally to that, Stefan Gervais in race 1 as well. He's in 8th place. Really the only Silver Cup guy who's probably going to look back on this day and wish he could really forget it is Mike Magsevich, who is dead last once again of the Silver Cup entries. And dead last in the race as he loses 11th place to Rick Martel. Ian Reimers is all over the back of fellow Aussie James Gill. This is a battle for top silver honors, top Aussie honors, and not top Audi honors, but top Audi honors that is not named Martin Lauer, who has been the Audi leader here. Wesley Stokes appears to have had a moment because Mark Klapsul has overtaken him for 9th place. Stefan Gervais, I believe, up to 8th place. I think he was behind Stokes, but I could be wrong on that. So it is Lauer from Gill, Reimers, Markovic, Hayes, Patolo, Minahan, Gervais, Klapsul, Stokes, Martel, and Magasevich. Relatively close together grid, only about, about 28 seconds separating the entire grid. Markovic goes off! Dule Markovic is off. He's going to lose out to Alex Hayes. He's going to lose out to Grant Patolo, Mark Minahan, Steph Injuries. By the way, I said that I thought Gill would hold it up, and I think I've been proven vindicated correctly here because Grant Patolo, Mark Minahan, and Stefan Gervais are now all over the back of this group, and we could have a fantastic battle from about 2nd place down to 7th place. If this keeps going, Mark Labzul also took Markovic. He's rejoined in 9th place after his moment there. Largely on his own, he's about 4.5 seconds behind Labzul, and the better part of 10 seconds ahead of Wesley Stokes, who's had a rough race. Mike Magasevich has overtaken Wesley Stokes. I imagine he will get that position back. Those are the 2 Falcon Autosports cars. And I can't imagine Magasevich will hold up the champion contending Wesley Stokes, who is on his team. Dean Reimers is looking to get past James Gill. He has been staring at the back of James Gill for a lot of this race. He's been within spitting distance of his fellow Aussie Audi driver and has not managed to overtake him. And you know Alex Hayes is going to get going nuts about this because he's in 4th place. He's a championship contending car, and Martin Lauer is just running away ahead of him. And it's got to be breaking his guts right now and busting his balls to have to sit back there. Grant Patolo, that car You have to wonder how that Nissan is right now handling, because it is... Oh, Dean Reimers is off! Dean Reimers goes very wide. That's going to cost him a podium, I think, for sure. Through goes Hayes. Through goes Patolo. That's going to drop him down to 5th place. I would not be surprised to see Mark Minahan go on the assault. Minahan also busted up front end. I was going to say, Grant Patolo, Mark Minahan, how are those cars handling right now? Because they're a little squished on the front end. Minahan was involved in that horrible first corner accident. I think Patolo was as well, though he came out with the better of it. But Minahan's punched his way back in here. Magasevich and Stokes have not managed to. I think that's partially due to Magasevich's lack of pace. But Wesley Stokes, you gotta wonder what's been up with him. Grant Patolo getting a little wide there. We're riding on board with him, so you tell me if you can see anything about that front end. Like, he's got a wiggle for sure. So that car is not 100% right now. But Grant Patolo, fantastic run right now in 4th place. It looked like he was gonna... Oh, and he bumps Alex Hayes! Hayes has got to be fuming! Reimers gets through both of them. We were saying Reimers had knocked himself out of podium contention, but apparently he is not. He's up into 3rd, but it is not over yet. He's still got Hayes, he's still got Patolo, he's got Minahan, and he's got Gervais. And Alex Hayes goes very wide. Reimers going wide as well. That's going to drop Hayes, I think, to the back of the queue. Did Reimers hang on? He did. Mark Minahan, who made a great run towards the end of race 1, is making a great run again. He's up to 5th place. He's putting pressure on Grant Patolo. Look at all those Australian flags, by the way. James Gill, Dean Reimers, Grant Patolo, Mark Minahan. The Aussie parade from 2nd down to 5th place. Stefan Gervais breaking up the party for Canada, overtaking Minahan there, his teammate. All 3 Gemini cars are in the top 6. This is a fantastic race for the Gemini GT team. They are in 2nd, 5th, and 6th position. This will do them all kinds of favors in the Constructors' Championship, or in the Team's Championship, which they are trying to be a force in. They are trying to make that late pressure for the title. Sorry, I had to take a drink there. Lauer, in the meantime, has disappeared. We're on the final lap. He's up there 8+ seconds in the lead at this point. 2nd place is James Gill. 3rd place is Dean Reimers. 4th place is Grant Patolo. 5th place is Mark Minahan. 6th place is Alex Hayes. 7th place is Stefan Gervais. Mark Lapzul is in 8th. Dule Markovic is in 9th. Mike Magasevich is still hanging on to 10th, still resisting Wesley Stokes, which is surprising. I thought he would let it through. In fact, Stokes has lost the position to Rick Martel. Grant Patolo is looking to get on the podium here at Suzuka. Then the crowd would be absolutely ecstatic if a Nissan was able to get on the podium. Dean Reimers made a mistake. He went off there. He goes off again. He is still hanging on, but Patolo's going to force his way through. Grant Patolo is through. Minahan is through. Hayes, Gervais are going to have a chance as well. Reimers is trying to come back at Minahan, trying to go around the outside, but his tires, I think, are just gone at this point. Stefan Gervais having a bit of a problem. That's going to knock him out of this fight, at least for now. We said the same about Reimers, and he's back in it. So it's not over for Gervais. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Alex Hayes is looking to get through. I think Dean Reimers is a huge risk right now. It's a huge risk for Alex Hayes right now, but he has to do better than 6th place in this race, you would think, for his championship hopes. He just can't say, I'll take the 8 points, because Martin Lauer is sitting on 50 points from Suzuka. He's got to go for it. Rick Martel, in the meantime, trying to get that last points paying position on Mike Magasevich. The battle is on there between the McLaren and Mercedes Power. They've had a race where we haven't really seen them since the opening lap, really, but they have been having a pretty fierce battle. Grant Patolo is on the podium still, and it is going to be a race win for Martin Lauer. I think undoubtedly James Gill is going to take 2nd place. Huge race for him. Fantastic run. Top Audi, and a fantastic run for Gemini as well. Grant Patolo is going to come across the line in 3rd ahead of Dean Reimers and Mark Minahan. Alex Hayes is going to finish in 6th place. That is heartbreaking. Stefan Gervais is going to be 7th ahead of Mark Lapzul. The battle is on for 10th still between Magasevich, Stokes, and Martel. And you have to wonder if there are any team orders going on in Falcon right now about letting Wesley Stokes through, because this is not a very important point for Mike Magasevich. Both the Mercedes are beat up, and it looks like he did indeed let the position go. Wesley Stokes takes the last points paying position ahead of Mike Magasevich and ahead of Rick Martel. Fantastic race here at Suzuka. The circus is off to Chang International Speedway, the destination of speed in Thailand, for the next round before heading to America to finish things off at Sonoma, Laguna Seca, and Road America. Hope you enjoyed the race. I know I did. See you next time.